What is an escape clause? An escape clause is an agreement between a buyer and a seller to terminate a contract if a certain condition is met. A real estate offer containing an escape clause is a conditional offer, but where we usually speak of a conditional offer as the type of deal that has the seller locked in and the buyer can determine whether or not the deal will close, an escape clause allows the seller to terminate. In a conditional offer, typically the condition is up to the buyer to either waive or fulfill in order to make the deal close. In the case of an escape clause, the seller has the ability to prevent the deal from closing. Now, to be perfectly clear, a conditional offer that has a condition that the buyer can either waive or fulfill or simply allow to expire is technically an escape clause, but in the industry we usually refer to these as just a condition or conditions, and we reserve the term escape clause for something that the seller can execute on. Usually when you hear the term escape clause, it means the seller has the ability to prevent the deal from closing. Now, why would anyone get involved in an offer like this? Well, it can be beneficial for both parties. Here's an example. You have a buyer who wants to purchase a new home, but he has to sell his old home before closing the deal on the new home. So he finds a home, puts forth an offer, the price he offers is favorable to the seller, so the seller agrees to it. That seller, however, does not want to take his property off the market while waiting to see if the buyer is able to sell his current home and waive all the conditions. So the seller keeps his property on the market and he has the ability to entertain a better offer if it comes in. The buyer and the seller can even put in a clause that gives the buyer 24 hours to waive all conditions if the seller expresses an interest in executing on the escape clause. So to recap, an escape clause is basically a tool that can allow a seller to technically renege on a deal if a better offer comes in, but it can also be beneficial to a buyer who might have a difficult condition to satisfy.